You're listening to the official Minnesota Wild podcast, presented by Acrisure.
John, a lot of penalty kill work today, it felt like.
Yes. Yeah, it was good. Good to have a practice and work on some things, tighten up some details on it. And so it was good we had the time.
Do you, it does feel like this is starting in the neutral zone. Like, the double drop and allowing them to come with speed. Is that the area that you'd like to see first be solved?
That's one of them. That's why with some things I think we can do there, and then some things in the end zone. So it was, multitude, a little bit of the forecheck, the rush coming in, and then end zone.
Mm-hmm. So Grello didn't practice?
Sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
You expect him to play tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. And then obviously Eriksson Ek, it's good to see him on the ice, but he obviously limited in practice.
Yeah, his first skate was today, so I thought he looked good out there, so that was certainly encouraging. And we had the plan for him to go out and skate before practice and then do some stuff in the practice. So we'll see where it goes from there.
What do you think he has a shot to play tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do? You think he can go, even though he was limited today?
Yeah, like as I tell you guys all the time, I think this time of year, it's not like guys are going to get, a lot of time. Is he definitely going to play? I don't know that. Is he a potential? There's a potential. There's a chance he can play. I won't know, probably till game time tomorrow, to be honest with you.
And what about with Brodin? And he didn't get on this.
Broads will not be ready for tomorrow.
Okay. Who's the starting goalie?
I'll let you know later. Sorry, Dan.
Well, if I asked you,
I totally get it. If you don't ask me, then you're going to leave and say, "Well, why didn't I ask him?"
Right.
And I would be like, "I can't believe they didn't ask me."
You, do you know who your goalie is tomorrow? You could say yes.
I do. I do. There, that's a great question. I know, but you don't know. How about that? I know, but you don't know. That's a great line of questioning right there. I like that. Yes.
But we can, as you say, you tell us later, so we can just
They don't know.
Call you?
They don't know. Text me, Mike. Text me. I don't know.
With Eck, how much is it in the situation kind of trusting the player to know himself the best of like what he has to give? How much is it ability to play compared to what he can play with?
Very much it's trusting the medical staff, but yes, ultimately it comes down to the player. And these guys know if they think that they can really help the team and they're going to be able to play and contribute the way that they need to contribute, then it might not be every player's at 100%, but if they feel like they can really impact and play the role that they're supposed to play, then those guys a lot of times they'll say, "Hey, I can do it," but other times they'll say, "I'm close, but I got to think of the team first as well." And right now, I can't perform the way you guys are going to expect me to perform.
Is Bogosian an option, do you think, for tomorrow?
Yeah. Yes.
Do you think? I know you weren't here in 2023, but Eck, he skated for a week. Everything looked great. He played and was able to last 19 seconds. I mean, do you feel like if he says, "I want to play," that you got to keep Urov in as sort of a security blanket to have another center in case he's not able to get through it?
I haven't thought about that yet, only because today was when I came in this morning. He was going to skate as of yesterday. He hadn't skated, and kind of as I tell you guys, these things are so fluid that it's not really like you're holding information back. I don't know. I don't even know what he's going to say after the skate, whether he said it felt good or bad or whatever. But it's always. You always want to try to make sure that if a player is coming off an injury, that always is a concern. You want to make sure that can you make it through the game. Now, if it's an unfortunate thing that happens, you do want to try to make sure that you're covered. But those are the discussions you do have with players, and the medical staff has with the players when they come back to say that, are we testing this, or are you telling us you are a game player for the game?
He was smiling late in practice, so that's a rarity.
Yeah, he was exactly. He was good. Good to see Eki smile.
You've gone with Urov as the option there. Hunter Hate's still in the mix, or what's the next plan? I guess
everybody's in the mix. We got a lot of guys here, and we got all kinds of different options that we would have. So I would say, whoever's been out on the ice is in the mix to play.
So yesterday, when you're talking about all the different video and clips you're looking at, so when a guy like Joel's out of the lineup and was even back here, what's sort of done to make sure that he's up to speed with those adjustments? So if he does come in, it's a little bit more seamless rather than just, hey, he's been out, he's sort of figuring out things on the fly.
What we try to do is, and one of the reasons why, whether it's Eki or the guys that are out, or even the extra players, some guys that haven't played yet, they're with our practice group and they're in all of our meetings. So anyone that's a potential game player, that's within 15 forwards or 8 or 9 defensemen. We do have more extra players here from Iowa that aren't presently with the group, but anyone that we feel, if there's an injury or we do need to make a lineup change, that the players are all involved in the meetings. They know what's going on in the series. They know the adjustments. They know everything that we're doing. Special teams, 5-on-5, what we're practicing, we want those guys involved in it. So a player coming off an injury, he's in the meetings. If a player has to miss a meeting for some reason, then we would make sure that one of the coaches meets with that player individually, so you're keeping everyone up to speed on what's going on.
But it is hella intensive, though.
Yes.
John, you I think in the first round you guys won 30% of your shorthanded faceoffs, right? I think now you're winning close to 70%. So a little bit back to Mike's question, but is it different stuff that you're seeing that's plaguing the penalty kill right now, as opposed to what you saw against Dallas? That you have to, is it different things to solve right now? Yes, a little bit different. Some similarities, but there's a couple other things, that are a little bit different.
On the double drop, do you almost have to get underneath Makar and just let him try to skate it in rather than giving it to Natchez or McKinnon? It feels like that's clearly what they're trying to do.
Yeah, the thing is with the power play and with the penalty kill, you have to decide what do you want to give up?
Right.
You're going to give up something, right? What do you want to give up? I think there's some things that we've given up in this series, a little bit different than Dallas. Mm-hmm. And how are we going to counteract that? But there's always going to be something, right? It depends on whether they hit it or recover it. But I would say that there are some things that clearly we've given too easy.
Yeah. Is that the middle of the ice, like the bumper area?
Yes.
Because I know Robertson scored the one goal off the goal line in Game 1 of last series, but it almost feels like that's a play you should just give up and let the goaltender take it.
Right, and now it actually we actually played it well. It wasn't even a back pass. He put it actually off the goalie's pad. He was trying to score, but the rebound bounced well. Those are some of the things I'm talking about. Like you have to understand. Okay, if we take this away, then this is it. And now on the penalty kill, it's the same thing, right? It's really 3 options. You got Makar, Natchez, and McKinnon, right? So, but there's some things that I think we can try to do, and then you got to execute what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Is it for as much attention as Quinn gets? We don't see him get stapled too often like he did last game. Does that just go with the territory this time of year?
Yeah, which ones I didn't see him get stapled, but
end boards by Lehkonen, and he turned into McKinnon and got bowled over.
The first one's just that's just I think a play that happens naturally in a game. It's a forecheck. I thought he bumped him, and then McKinnon's was the open ice one, which does no damage. He's just cutting back and things like that. So he doesn't get hit because he's smart, but there is going to be contact in the game at times, but I would say that those 2 situations I think they were just hockey plays, to be honest. And usually what I found is if, he recognizes certain situations, it's not going to happen again. But, I didn't feel like he was getting tattooed all over the ice. I thought there was a couple hockey plays that happened, and that's part of it.
It's easier said than done, but or do you feel like you're doing that enough to their skill guys? Sorry. Boldy's clearly they're playing Boldy physically, Quinn physically.
Yeah. I think it's, I know that the game, they're both competitive games, right? And I think that some guys have been cracked on them. Some of our guys have been cracked. That's part of, I think, teams getting attached to the series and playing and feeling tendencies of certain guys too. Mm-hmm. That you play them in the regular season, but you play them, and you're watching them on video. A lot of times you start to see, okay, sometimes this guy goes here and he turns there, and you can get a bump on him where maybe in the regular season you don't have that much focus on particular players.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned learning from last series, losing 2 games against Dallas, come back winning 3 straight. Is that where you mentioned the series can change in a heartbeat, right? Is that kind of why the belief is really there for Game 3 going forward, just doing that one at a time?
No, I don't think that's just why the belief is there. I think if you look at the way the first game was a track meet, as we said, they scored more than we did. I think in the second game, you can look a lot into the game either way. I thought it was 2 teams that played a highly competitive game. They found a way to win one, so we're a good team, they're a good team. They found a way to win 2. We haven't gotten one yet, but we believe in our team and how we play, and we got to be better in certain areas. But we've done some really good things in the series as far as style of play and how you play and dictating the game at certain times. And I I would say that that's where the real belief comes in from, you know, and then just having the experience. You have guys with playoff experience, they go through different things, but that is valuable. But as I said yesterday, this group, this team this year has gone through a series where you went through injuries, you went through losing a game, you went through playing a game 5. Like, we went through a lot in that series to win it, and that's this group. So the mindset's the same.
For an extraordinary advantage in sports, you need a game plan. For an extraordinary advantage everywhere else, all you need is Acrisure. With a high-tech human approach to insurance, cybersecurity, and more, Acrisure helps you take care of what you care about. That makes winning easy. See what Acrisure's extraordinary advantage can do for you at Acrisure.com.